Hello, gorgeous NFA Money Mamas. It's time for another Biz Breakdown session on the Woman Entrepreneur Podcast. If you're new here and you don't know what Biz Breakdown sessions are yet, they are my weekly episode releases that I either do solo or with another person like you who comes on to the show and gets business breakdown advice. These are going to be tips and strategies to help you scale your business more effectively. So on the solo weeks, it's me highlighting things I've learned on my business building journey and things to help you scale more quickly. And on the weeks that I have a guest on, it is us highlighting you and then digging into stuck points in your business so that you can scale more quickly with more ease and joy and flow and have it feel good. I know that entrepreneurs have such a huge heart for building their business, at least the ones I attract through the NFA Money Mama Mastermind and in the Woman Entrepreneur Podcast. It's entrepreneurs who are like heart-driven, heart-centered, care a lot about what they do. And sometimes that caring can cause some blindness around strategic steps that are working. And a lot of this has to do with what I call the Zone of Manifestation Business Scaling Roadmap. So if you go back to episode number 3, there's a deep dive there about this. But on your entrepreneurial journey, there are 4 phases or 4 zones that you will go through. And in those zones, we get stuck and confused sometimes. And so it's really helpful to have this biz breakdown weekly session for you to go, okay, what do I really need to hyper focus on here in order to move the needle forward in my business? And so today, what we're going to talk about for this episode number 8 is how to do lead generation that works. Why is this important? Because lead generation is the lifeblood of your business. Such a funny term, lifeblood, but it's like if you think about your business having it's an entity in and of itself, and it's an alive being, the blood that's flowing through its veins is the lead gen. If you don't have a powerful lead gen system, or you don't even know what I'm talking about, or you go, crap, I don't really focus on this at all, you're going to be stuck. And I know a lot of people have those thoughts around lead gen as like, oh my God, I don't know what I'm doing and I'm not sure what to do. And I wish it was more effective. You know, when I ask people one of the big results that they want from their business, they always say to make more money. And then they say, and what's stuck is lead gen. And so I wanted to cover this with you today and talk to you about some of the bumps along the way that I've had and give you 3 tips that are going to help you be more effective at lead gen and consider it in a new way. I want you to reframe in your mind how you've been thinking about lead gen so that you can have it be more fun and flowing and easier and more successful. Because once you get this part of your business down, things flow in so much more easily and you don't feel stuck and scared like, oh my God, where's the next paycheck coming from? Will I have enough clients and customers to buy my products and services? And so this is a really incredibly critically important topic. And so let's dive into it today. So again, if you're new here, I'm Dr. Amanda, the Money Healer, and I'm known for going from food stamps to building a 6-figure business in its first year. And a lot of this is through mindset work and energetic alignment, or I'd say not a lot of it, all of it. So part of that was me getting clear in my mind, my empowered self, and reducing and removing money blocks until I would break through to the next level. And I love to teach you those things. These biz breakdown sessions are really practical. And so today we're going to break down some practical, and talk about the energy, the mindset, and the habits around lead generation. So let's talk about first, what is lead gen, right? I think some people get a little bit confused here and they go, I'm not really sure what I'm doing in lead gen. Lead gen is just about you attracting your 5-star, rock star people to your business. What that means is first you need to know who those people are. Right? That is your number one quest in the very beginning. When you're in the beginning phases of building a business, you want to be thinking, who do I work with best? And what are those people's pain points? What are they struggling with? What are they thinking about? What are they learning about? Why do they want to search for me? And that's part of lead gen that's really important. It's this mindset around, who do I serve best? What do I bring to the table? And how do I speak to them in a way that resonates so powerfully that when they see something that I put out in the world, they're like automatically drawn to it because you know them so well. So I'd start there. First, you want to be thinking about, who am I generating leads for? Like what's the lead generation process in terms of who is it that I care about attracting? Who do I work with best? And you'll get better and better at this over time because, as you build your business and you work with more people, you start to refine, and it's through the law of contrast, basically. So you'll work with some people and you go, oh, I don't really like working with them. Those aren't really the right people for me, or they're not really the people I can help the most. And so you start to refine, and then you pivot a little bit, and then you refine down to a different group. You play with them in whatever offerings you have. And then you notice, ooh, I'm really good at helping this person. And so then you start to attract more of those people, and it gets more and more refined over time. So if you're in your first year of business, you're going to notice a lot of refining happening, where you will notice patterns of people you work with that you can help and can't help, or can help and don't prefer to help as much, right? So maybe you're really good at a lot of things. You want to get it whittled down to who's the really, if I had a magic wand and I could choose exactly who I work with, start playing with who that person is, because you love working with them. They have the money to pay you. They're in it for the long haul with you. They're like your loyal fans, and they get results from you, which makes both of you feel good. You always want to be creating win-win situations with the people you attract your way. So that's lead gen. You go, okay, I choose to attract never-ending flow of awesome people my way who I can get incredible results for, who then turn into my referral machines because they share with other people that they've gotten results, because they love working with me, because they keep coming back for anything that I create in the future. They're my loyal fans for listening to my podcast or my YouTube or whatever, your blog posts, whatever you're putting out there to keep attracting people. Those are your people. And that's what lead gen is all about. You want to have a mountain of people exponentially growing and getting really close and connected to you, so that you never feel like there's a drought where you go, oh my God, I don't know who to work with right now. Oh my God, no one's asking to work with me. I mean, that's one of the worst feelings. And I know a lot of people get stuck there, right? Where we go, I put stuff out there and I care so much, and it's just crickets. I hear nothing. And we don't want that. We want people emailing you saying they got results. We want people messaging you on your DMs on social media. We want people leaning in and reaching out and looking for you. I'm going to tell you some good, fun stories about this. Okay. So that's lead gen in a nutshell. It's you attracting 5-star people your way who you love to work with and who you get amazing results for. So it's that attraction piece is the lead gen piece. So here, tip number 1. Let's talk about this first. So this is tip number 1 on how to do lead generation that works. First of all, one of the most important things that you need to consider is that you must absolutely prioritize lead gen every single day. Okay. Here's why I say this. And it sounds, you're probably going, really, Amanda? That's so silly and simple and just obvious. And the truth is that a lot of times, especially in zone number 1, the manic imposter zone, when people get really excited about building a business, they get excited about creation and they put a lot of stuff out there, but they forget what the purpose of putting the stuff out there is. So it's almost like we get distracted by going, it's easy to create a social media post and spend 2 or 3 hours on it, and then forget what is the point of that post, right? Some of it's to share your information. Let's say it's to share your information, but when you get confused about it, it's often a distraction piece. It's God, I don't know what to do, so I'm going to spend 2 or 3 hours on this social media post and not really have a purpose behind it other than to just be in action, which is good. It's better than doing nothing. But you want to be thinking, is this piece of content I'm putting out there connecting with my people to bring them into my community? Okay. So prioritize lead gen daily. What that means is if you're putting content out there, the goal is, how is that piece of content you're putting out getting them into your community as a loyal fan, like a loyal forever person, a customer, a client who converts into being a paid customer or client. And so when you're creating content, let's say you have a strategy where you're putting out 5 pieces of content a week. Let's say some of that social media posts, some of it is either a podcast, YouTube, blog posts. Remember in the map, I tell you the top 3 priorities every day that you need to be doing for the rest of your business is number 1, daily lead gen. Number 2, working with your people that you're bringing in and getting incredible results. And number 3, daily content creation. And you want to pick one marketing outlet. This means a blog post. You want to have a blog, a YouTube channel, or a podcast. And of course, there are other options. Some people do virtual summits. I think when you're a solopreneur and you're starting out and you want to scale quickly, you've got to have one of these simpler strategies. because you don't have an audience yet, you've got to start with something that builds your audience. And so a YouTube channel, a podcast, and blog posts are the easiest way I've seen to do that. You don't need a network to do that, right? A lot of the other strategies, you need a bigger network to do those things. And so those are my main ways that I say, okay, hey, let's start you out with something that's going to be prioritizing lead gen in a way that connects with your people and converts them into loyal, lifelong fans. So in this prioritizing daily lead gen, every morning you've got to be thinking, when you get to your desk, you're treating it like a business and you're going, okay, how am I connecting with new people today? How am I connecting with new people today? Is it through releasing an episode? Is it through writing? Is it through social media post? And what's the purpose in that post to get people to start talking to me? Okay, so when you're doing lead gen every day, you want to have this blocked out on your calendar as if it's a hard, like a meeting in your calendar that is not movable. It's not an option. Right? You can't push off your lead gen till the end of the day, then not do it, then the next day not do it, then the next day not do it. You have no business then. Remember at the beginning, I said lead gen is the lifeblood of your business. It's what supports everything in your business. You attracting new paying customers your way. And so you want to be structuring every single thing you do from this perspective. And again, like I said, it's easy to get distracted and do all the other little parts and put out too much content and get, really creative. I used to struggle with this. So when I started my business, I would put out a post every single day. And sometimes I would spend like 2 hours on this post. And it's hilarious. If you go back and look at my Instagram account, at NFA Money, go back to like the very first post I ever did. It's kind of hilarious. It's like way too many words. It doesn't look that great. And yet I cared a lot and I was taking action. And so, this isn't to beat myself up. It's to go like, okay, I see how over time I've become more and more effective in my lead gen. So I want to shrink that learning curve for you and have it be easier. So when you're putting something out there, you want to be thinking, how is this going to get people to engage with me? How is it sharing my expertise? And how am I building my expert platform to get them into my community? And so this ties into number 2 with lead gen that works. You want to start building relationships immediately. Okay. Everything you put out there, you need to be thinking, is this building a relationship and a connection with the people that I'm attracting my way? So first, the message needs to be clear. What is it that I'm saying in these messages that's going to get people to come to me? It's you knowing your 5-star avatar really well. You know what they stay up at night thinking about and worrying about. You know where they want to go with their dreams and their visions. You know what their struggles are. And that's what you're speaking to. And that builds relationships, because remember, people will always remember how you made them feel. If when they're watching something of yours, let's say you do a reel on Instagram and they're watching it and they're going like, oh my God, she knows me so well. I want to connect with her. That's going to make them plug into your next one and your next one and your next one. And then all of a sudden you'll notice that they're reaching out to you in your DM and going like, hey, hey, and they shouldn't need to ask, how can we work together? Because it should be really obvious to them. But let's say they reach out and say like, let's talk more. Right? So you want to have a way for them to chat with you. And this is going to tie to number 3. And I'm going to interweave all of these. And so we'll keep going back and forth between them. So again, number 2 is start building relationships immediately. And number 3 is promote yourself to your 5-star clients. So when you're on number 2 and you're building these relationships with people, and when I say immediately, that means like day 1 of your business. You want to be doing this day 1 of your business. Number 1, prioritize lead gen daily, starting day 1 of your business. Then you want to start building relationships immediately, starting day 1 of your business. And you want to promote yourself to your 5-star clients, starting, I'd say, week 1 of your business. Once you start putting stuff out there, you want to really start promoting yourself. And this isn't a gross like sales pitch of hard pressuring people. That's not what I'm talking about. Promoting yourself means saying that you have an offering and in your content. Okay. So I say this, and this is funny because I've had people reach out to me and say, I want to work with you, but I don't see how to work with you, because for really until recently, actually, I didn't even have a contact me on my website. This is it cracks me up to look at this and go like, wow, I really was was kind of blind here. When I started my business, I did exactly what I'm teaching you. So right away, I started with lead gen, and I knew it was really important. And so before I even like had a website built or all of my stuff built out, I started going to live networking events, like in-person networking events. And that was my lead gen strategy. I was like, I got to go start talking to people. I got to start practicing. I got to talk to people. And it worked well because I cared a lot. I didn't exactly know who my 5-star client avatar was, but like I said, in that law of contrast, I was practicing and I was thinking about, how do I talk to people? How do I start working with people? And then I'll figure it out along the way. So for me, that prioritizing daily lead gen is what helped me break through to 6 figures fast in that first year. And I want to, like, if I were with you right now and I could like gently, lovingly shake you and be like, hey, you've got to do lead gen daily. This is the most important thing. And I could make sure you knew it, then my job is done for today because it's critical. And in telling you, it's what got me to be able to break through, because I was so focused on, I got to bring money into my business to fund more business building. And, at the time I was on food stamps. And so I also needed money to eat. And I was, I had just taken the leap, and I had left I'd graduated from earning my PhD. And then I took a first semester job as a professor in my department because someone had passed away and they needed a professor. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not sure if my business is going to fly yet. So I'll take this job and just have it fund my business and help me keep eating and paying rent and those kinds of things. And then, as I was doing that, I was going to weekly networking events. And that was my lead gen strategy. It was like, okay, I'm going to start posting stuff on social media so I can start to build my expert platform while I talk to people. And it worked, right? That first semester course I took, they asked me to come back and I was like, nope, I'm going all in my business. And so that first year I went 6 figures by doing exactly what I'm teaching you here. And again, like I said, most people struggle with lead gen. A lot of it is these money blocks where they go, I don't want to promote myself. I'm scared to talk to people. I don't know what I'm doing. And so then they overly perfect their content they put out, but they never ask for the gig. They never go like, hey, I have something to offer you. Or they never just have these powerful relationship building conversations. Like when we talk about number 2, start building relationships immediately, you want to have conversations with people. Your number 1 goal is to practice lead gen that starts conversations where you can promote yourself to the people you're working with, right? And get results. Okay. So that's this process. We go, okay, number 1, daily lead gen. How am I attracting people to my business today? Number 2, how am I building relationships with those people that I attract? This could be, you definitely want to be capturing them on your, list. Still, email is the way. You've got to have people's contact information, because who knows when let's say your Instagram, I had a friend who had 20,000 people on her Instagram who were active. Like she had a really powerful community and someone hacked her account. She lost all those people and she hadn't built a huge list. And so she had no contact with those people. She's just gone. So you want to make sure you're getting people their information. So you want to have a really powerful lead magnet to keep that nurturing that relationship. So you're going to start building relationships immediately, and that they're going to be ones that you can nurture. So you want to be thinking about that in your lead gen. Okay, how do I prioritize lead gen and start building relationships? Part of that building relationships is going to be having a list that you can get people into your community so you can keep nurturing them. And in coaching world, we call it like owning their, I don't even know the words we use. It's like, you take them off the platforms into your community so that you now have their information so you can contact them no matter what happens to these social media platforms, which we have all seen happen. I've seen people's Facebook groups get hacked. I've seen Instagram get hacked. I've seen YouTube get hacked. Like it's you don't want to spend all these years building your community on those platforms and then not have a way to contact them if something were to happen. So in that building a relationship, I like to think of this as like you're protecting the relationship. And if you want to be in contact with someone, you want to be continuously connecting with them, which means you need their information. And someone who's aligned with you and it is your 5-star person, they're going to be happy to give your information, because whatever lead magnet you have where they opt in to your community is going to be so in alignment with what they're looking for that it's a no-brainer, right? They're like, oh my God, yes, I love what you have and I want to be able to stay connected with you. Will they read every single thing you have? Absolutely not. People are busy and they've got their whole lives going on. But what will happen is over time, as you're sending out consistent stuff to your community, they'll see the headline, and then maybe they'll go, oh, that one's not really interesting to me. They'll see one that's really interesting to them. And still, no matter what, you're top of mind. And you want to be top of mind in your 5-star client's mind, right? You want to be the go-to person that they are looking for answers from. And in that, this has to do with promoting yourself. Don't be afraid to promote yourself in the everything that you put out there. Promote yourself just means sharing like you are water in the desert. I love to help people with sales fears and sales blocks where they go, I don't want to promote myself because I sound like a sales jerk, like one of those greedy, gross salespeople that none of us like. Don't do that. Don't be a gross salesperson. Be water in the desert. So I always reframe it in your mind as I am water in the desert for someone who's starving in this way, whatever your solution is. Let's say you're a weight loss coach and someone is unhealthy and feeling no energy and they feel like crap about themselves and they wish they could just lose that 10 pounds and you have a way to do it and you're not sharing it with them. It's like you not giving them water in the desert when they're starving for water and they're dehydrated, right? You just think of it as selling is caring and selling is sharing and selling is loving and selling is serving. That's how I think about it. And that's how I want you to think about promoting yourself. And so you're not being a gross jerk in promoting yourself in every single post and being pushy about it. It's that you're making sure people are aware. Like I said on my website, now I have a contact you and you schedule a consult with me so that people can know how to hang out with me and work with me. So just make sure you have a way that's really clear. If you, let's say you're on Instagram, you have it in the bio links that says, work with me, here's how, that type of thing. On some posts, you want to be really just straight up promoting whatever it is that you have. And then on other posts, it's just service-based. It's like, hey, here's another tip for today. And then in another one, it's like, hey, here's an exact program I have. If this resonates, reach out, that kind of thing. Okay. I could teach a week-long course on this. So I wanted to just give you some highlights for lead gen. And I really want your number one key takeaway from this biz breakdown session to be, do I have a lead gen strategy? What is it? Is it working? Is it effective and efficient? Is it bringing in ROI results, high ROI results? Okay. So first in the comments, just put, if you need help with lead gen, reach out to me. I am brilliant at this. I've got really cool tools to build relationships on social media. I can help you with networking. I mean, I've really tried a lot of different things and I've really fine-tuned it down to building relationships and strategies that feel aligned for me, that attract the right people. And this is the number one key thing you must figure out in your business, because if you don't have new people coming in, you're not going to be able to scale. You could be one of those people that has some really awesome connections and you get repeat clients. I've had this in my business a lot, like where I get repeat clients. And so I haven't had to grow as rapidly. Now I'm going, okay, now it's time to scale to the next level. I got to have lead gen strategies that attract a lot of people. Ooh, they're doing windows at my house today and they just arrived. So it's going to get really loud. So I'm going to wrap up. Okay. So let's recap real quick. Tip number 1, prioritize daily lead gen. Remember, this is the key takeaway for today. Am I prioritizing daily lead gen? And if I'm not, how am I going to get help? Reach out to me, email me at dramanda@nfamoney.com, dramanda@nfamoney.com. And I will be happy to set up a meeting with you and see how I can help you. Number 2, start building relationships immediately. So think about how you're going to build those relationships and capture them in your community through a powerful lead gen opt-in. And then number 3, promote yourself. Don't be afraid to promote yourself. If you are water in the desert for your people, you must promote yourself because actually you're hurting them if you don't. All right. It's been wonderful to be with you again today. And until next time, NFA Money Making High Five.